Yes, I would think the one thing that I see quite a lot is a formulaic approach to the supporting statement. Um, it seems clear, I guess, particularly with undergraduate applications, but even with postgraduate applications, that a lot of applicants are coached, and there's nothing wrong with people giving you tips on how to do the application. But you don't want to do something that is more formulaic and not a personalized narrative or something that is really about you. One of the biggest examples of formulaic is people use a quote at the beginning of their supporting statement. So they'll have a quote from, John Dewey or Malcolm X or a politician or a philosopher. And it's kind of clear it's been grabbed off a website and it doesn't really connect to the student. It doesn't connect to their reasons. It seems to just be a demonstration that they have a quote from that subject area. And I think when you're applying for a course here, you need to keep in mind, we're looking at hundreds of applications. And if 25% of those have quotes, we're looking at those as slightly more formulaic. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get a place on the course, but it does make it look like you've sort of taken the formulaic approach, and that's best avoided. The second thing I think that's really important to avoid is platitudes of a very general nature. In relation to any subject area, you could say quite general things about which you might think are the sort of things you ought to be saying in relation to that subject. But again, it's the same thing as formulaic quotes. We see a lot of these applications, and in relation to a subject like journalism, where I see a lot of applications for that subject, you get so many applicants who say, I want to do journalism because I want to sort of reveal the truth for the people, and it's not so much that you couldn't say elements of that sort of sentiment in your application, but to just sort of say that in general doesn't tell us much about you or how you've come to the subject or what you specifically might do in a sort of realistic way. It's just sort of saying really general hyperbole about the subject. The last thing I'd say is, and this is very important to avoid, a statement which is sloppy in formatting or has lots of spelling mistakes, poorly formatted, it doesn't have capitalization, written like an email, definitely want to avoid. What you need to remember when you're applying is that the supporting statement is a demonstration of your writing ability, and is one of the criteria we have when we're assessing applications is writing. And if it's not written well, it doesn't necessarily send a good message to us that you're going to be able to do well in courses which in the School of Arts are primarily assessed via writing.